When we think about Greece, we think about history, we think about mythology, we think about vacation. The world does not think of Greece as a place where you'll build a tech unicorn, right? So, how did you get this conviction that you can operate out of Greece and have a global business that will eventually become the first unicorn in Greece?
You are absolutely correct. Greece is famous for ancient history, tourism, tzatziki, shaka, food, and not about quality. And when you speak about quality, because exams is quality, quality is usually associated with Switzerland and the UK in Europe. So, in order to become a global partner, we had to choose the right identity. There was no way that this could be a Greek company. And we set up all the operation in the UK.
Okay.
And we became a proper UK entity. The impact that we're having in people's lives. We are impacting approximately 1 million lives per year today, because the certification is not the value of the paper. I mean, how much it costs to send the paper. The certification is the proof of knowledge that opens doors, opens opportunities to people. Today, everything in life is a project, or if it's a combination of projects, it's a program. I mean, if you want to have a birthday party, it's a project. If you want to arrange to move your house, it's a project. If you want to get married, it's a project. If you want to get a divorce, this is a program, more complex. It's not a project.
Stories. Well, that's what most of us have heard others tell. That's what we have probably heard too growing up. Well, what makes a great story? Maybe it's not that complex. A simple story with little incidents, failures, roadblocks, and those tiny milestones that need to be celebrated. Maybe it's as simple as that. Join me on this journey as I share uncommon stories of common people right here with you. Keeping in line with the theme of showcasing uncommon stories of common people, today we have a very special guest. On today's podcast, let's talk to Byron Nicolaides, the founder and CEO of such a successful organization such as PeopleCert. We have all heard of certifications such as ITIL, Prince2, and DevOps Institute. Today, let's meet the man behind all of this. From his education in Istanbul, Turkey, to his early stint at Merrill Lynch, to starting PeopleCert, it's been a remarkable journey. PeopleCert has evolved from a small local Greek player to a leading global organization in the certification of professional and language skills. Their revenue has climbed from £1 million to £75 million, growing on an average 40% per year in the last 5 years. They have delivered millions of exams and certified millions of people across 215 countries, helping them achieve their goals and realize their dreams. Let's find out more about Byron, how all this happened, and what next for PeopleCert. So Byron, I want to start with your early life. Where did you grow up? How it helped shape up who you are as a professional? So please tell us about your early career journey.
Well, early career shapes everybody's life. In particular, I see this, we come from a poor family. I was born in Istanbul, in Constantinople, in Turkey, and both my parents were teachers. Teachers in the normal sense that they had normal salaries, etc. They were in the community school. So my early childhood was sort of poverty, I would say. But I was a good student. I was a good student in the high school as well. And I was able to enter to a very good university, Bosphorus University. At that time, it was called Robert College. Ended up with a very good degree, which helped open the doors next to my life.
So from Turkey, how did you move to Greek? I know you also understand that you worked in investment banking for the longest time. So tell us your journey from how did you get into investment banking, and were you working in Turkey, Greece, or somewhere else?
In Turkey, I was working, as a student, everybody works. So I was doing a lot of stuff. Works including being pirate taxi driver during nights in Istanbul, trying to survive. And then 1981, I went to Greece as an immigrant, because sometimes the relationship between Turkey and Greece are not necessarily good. Sometimes it's okay for the Greek community over there. You see, there is still a small Greek community in Istanbul. So I decided to move to Greece, and I go to Greece as a financial immigrant. I did several jobs. For 8 months, I was sleeping on the floor. And I started the business which was a laundry business. You Indians should be quite familiar with this because there are a lot of laundries I've seen in my trips in India, which then I improved it and I elevated to a dry cleaning. It was laundry and dry cleaning. And the second shop and the third shop and the fourth shop. And at the same time, I started doing an American university in Athens, University of Laverne, my MBA. And while I was doing my MBA, a friend of mine who was doing his MBA as well, he told me, you want to speak to my wife? And I had, by coincidence, there my wife, because there's a big coincidence. Some times ago, we had, both of us got married in Big Athens, the same church, same day, 1 hour difference. Life is full of coincidences, right? And Merrill Lynch, she was working at Merrill Lynch, and she put me in touch with her boss. And Merrill Lynch, they were looking for someone to open the market of Turkey. And they had looked for 6 months. They couldn't find anybody because if you are in Greece and for some peculiar reason, the management of Turkey was under the Greek office. So you needed somebody who was well-educated, typical banker, a bit aggressive, well-educated, somehow good-looking. This is easy to find. So, but to be able to travel to Turkey, speak Turkish, which means that the guy should have also a Turkish passport at those days. They tried for 6 months, they couldn't find anyone. And the big boss then said, if you can find me someone, I'll give you $10,000 bonus to the team. $10,000 back in 1987 in Greece was a big amount of.
Yeah.
So everybody started looking at their Rolodex. And this lady said, I know someone, he's studying together with my husband.
Okay.
So I went, I met the guy, and to cut a long story short, from dry cleaning business, I was hired at Merrill Lynch. And I left Merrill Lynch in 1991, after 4.5 years, being number one globally, the biggest producer. And in 31 years old, from being very poor, I became very rich. I became multimillionaire in dollars, 1990. Wow. And it's difficult because if you suddenly make up lots of money, huge amounts of money, it's the same shock effect as if you have lots of money and you lose it. It's very easy to lose temper, to start doing stupid stuff, etc. So the big challenge, and that's my advice also to young people, and especially to guys who win lotteries, etc. When you win money, for 6 months, block it somewhere. You should not have access for 6 months, because during these 6 months, the settlement, the sentiments settle down. And then you start to realize that's a new reality, and you try to manage this new reality. That's how I went there. And then in 1991, I decided to leave. As a typical Greek, I wanted to have my own business, and I want to become a ship owner. Greeks are known as ship owners. So I went to Cambridge. I studied the Cambridge Academy of Transport. I studied shipping. I entered the shipping market. I bought 50% one and then a second vessel together with a partner who was from Istanbul. Just to realize after 1.5 years that I did not like it. Because every day, or all day in the office, in the shipping business, we were talking about money. Nothing else but money, how we're going to make more money. And I was a son of 2 teachers, 2 educators. So yes, and I had made good money. I still want to make good money, but I would like also to be useful to the society. Yeah. To think gave me pleasure on top of mine as well. So I sold my shares. It was back before the shipping crisis. And again, as a coincidence, I saw in Wall Street Journal, European edition, at that time, 1990, in Greece, probably 20 people were reading Wall Street Journal. I was one of those. That somebody was looking for a franchise, master franchisee in Greece. I was not aware what is franchise, what is master franchisee, but seeing the name Greece, I sent them a fax. Yeah. And I said, Future Kids, we are going to teach, it was an American franchise called Future Kids. They said that we're going to teach computers to young children. They invited me to Paris. I said, well, you never lose by going a weekend to Paris. So I take my wife, we went to Paris. We signed the agreement and we became the master franchisee of Future Kids in Greece. Very successful. It was a business. And in a few years' time, per capita, it was the most successful globally. So one day, the franchisee gathering, master franchisee gathering, the Irish guy comes and tells me, you're so successful. At that time, we had 15,000 students. 15,000 students for small Greece was a big number. He told me, why don't you certify those guys? I said, what does certification mean? Are you aware of ECDL? ECDL Foundation? No. I said, you better know them. So I get in touch with ECDL Foundation, and then we started the certification business of ECDL in year 2000 in Greece. This was very profitable, a really good big business, and grew up to 2008. Every year, 30% growth and 30% profitability. Very good business. And at the same time, we expanded outside of Greece. We got the license for China, for Turkey, for Albania, for Portugal. We acquired Portugal and one or two more countries. And then we had the global crisis. And Greece was the epicenter of this. No other country of the Western world such a shrinkage of GNP as Greece had. And by that time, I realized that most of the money that we're making were out of Greece. The other countries, they haven't grown up yet, so it was somewhere we're losing a little bit of money, somewhere we're making it. The total thing was break even. My past from Merrill Lynch and having a global perspective helped me to see in advance that crisis was coming. So we closed all the subsidiaries. We brought all the operation in Greece. We started working 24/7 and looking for new opportunities. And then was when we found out ITIL, and we became one of the ITIL examination institutes starting to sell ITIL globally. And that's how we essentially where we met. I think we met.
Which year was that, Byron? In 2012, 2013?
That was, we started in 2010.
Okay.
And probably we met in 2013. So it was a very difficult decision because in 2009, essentially, I had become 50 years old. I had more money than I needed. I'm a frugal person as well. So one option was to drastically reduce our business, pass it to my two children, and me go fishing or starting fighting with my wife, etc. I mean, all this stuff. And the other alternative was to say, no, we're going to build right now on a global scale what we did in a small scale in Greece. I chose a second with very limited finances because we were making very good money and the business was 100% owned by me and we had zero debt all those years. The bankers used to come to us and say, I mean, come here, I mean, we have to give you some money. We don't want to become thieves, etc. I said, I don't need your money. I have more money than I need. And then I said, okay, now we're going to get finance in the middle of a crisis. I go to the banks and the bankers started smiling and said, Byron, you should know it. We as bankers, we give you the umbrella when there is sunshine. If there is rain, there is no way you can have an umbrella from the bankers. But we have a strong cash position and we work very hard. The first 2-3 years, I did not know whether I did the right thing or not. It was like me driving a small Cinquecento Italian car and trying to pass a big truck. And on the other side of the road, there was another big truck coming. So it's either you push the pedal on the brake or you push the gas. And then I took a big breath and I pushed the gas. And it was only after 3 years, I said, I probably did the right thing. And then after the story, you know that we were quite successful on ITIL globally. In 2014, Axelos was formed. And then we became one EIs of Axelos, so we had ITIL and Prince 2. In 2017, Axelos, which was 51% capita and 49% UK government cabinet office, they decided to have a tender to reduce the examination institutes from 10, 11 to 1 or 2. We won that contract on an exclusive basis. So as of January 1st, 2018, we were the only ones who were selling the ATOs exams, ITIL and Prince 2 globally, and the others, PPM exams and MRP and MOR, etc. And in 2021, there was another global tender where we competed against the big private equities of the world, and we acquired ATOs. It's like instead of Coca-Cola buying the bottlers, the bottler acquired Coca-Cola. And since then, PeopleCert continues to grow. It's a global business. Our business has changed, of course. We don't do any more operation. Our business today is on creating IP, managing IP, and monetizing IP. And exams is one way that we monetize the IP.
No, Byron, this was really, really very helpful, and thanks for sharing. I think some of the things that you shared, even I was not aware. So it's really great to hear your entire journey. So I think, Byron, one question that comes to mind looking at your story is that when we think about Greece, we think about history, we think about mythology, we think about vacation. The world does not think of Greece as a place where you'll build a tech unicorn, right? So how did you get this conviction that you can operate out of Greece and have a global business that will eventually become the first unicorn in Greece? People would have typically thought that you have to maybe relocate to London or maybe somewhere in Germany or Paris to make that happen. So how did you go about doing that?
You're absolutely correct. Greece is famous for ancient history, tourism, tzatziki, shaka, food, and not about quality. And when you speak about quality, because exams is quality, quality is usually associated with Switzerland and the UK in Europe. So in order to become a global partner, we had to choose the right identity. There was no way that this could be a Greek company. And we set up all the operation in the UK.
Okay.
And we became a proper UK entity. I always say that UK is a fantastic country because we made full use of the UK brand globally.
Okay.
We position our head offices are in the UK. Second, we made very good use of the UK institutions, banks, auditors, lawyers, legal system, all the UK institutions. They're ideal for global expansion. And the third, which is equally important, in the UK, you always find the fair play. If you are good in your business, the market, the customers, the government recognizes it. When we had this tender with one examination institute or two, one of our competitors was an UK organization. You know them. I'm not going to mention their name. And everybody was thinking that they are going to be winners because they are UK, and this is from the UK government. Or at least they are going to be. Our offer was much better, and the UK government said, no, we'll go with the best offer. It's a fair play here. So we make use of all those, and we went globally, being a UK organization. And still, our operation is in Greece, but we used to employ close to between 50 and 100 people in the UK today. We have 5 or 6 UK companies for different purposes. We have 2 companies today in the US. We have 1 in China, 1 in Turkey, 4 or 5 in Greece, 2 in Cyprus, etc. We're a global organization. In total, we are 26, 27 companies, and we do business in over 100 countries. And we should not forget as well, this is what we call business and IT. PeopleCert is structured in 2 business lines. One is business and IT, which is in ITIL, Prince 2, DevOps, other Lean Six Sigma, the other things we're doing. And the other part of the business, which is smaller, is languages business. And we are one of the big players, language certification organizations in the world. Back in 2015, we acquired the English language business of City and Guilds. Today is traded, and we improved it significantly, etc. Today it's under the name LanguageCert. LanguageCert is 100% subsidiary of PeopleCert, and we are
Okay.
number 4 in the world and growing significantly.
No, that's really great to know, Baron. So you said that now it's a global organization with footprints all across the globe and a lot of team members based out of UK in particular and some other countries also.
We are doing business in 225 countries every year, and Greece is only 1.5% of our business.
Wow. So there's hardly any country left.
There is no left.
So how do you manage such a large business that will also require very, very strong team all across the world, right? So what's your leadership style? How do you hire, recruit, and retain top talent?
First of all, we have a very good management team and a very tightly connected management team. Are people that I know. I mean, the average tenure of the people that report to my first line, 8 people, in PeopleCert is 11 years. So I always say that it's very important to have a very good management team, people that know each other, they trust each other, they like working together. And then we have a lot of long timers because we are a good employer. We take care of our people. We pay well, but this is secondary. It's not that we're paying crazy amounts of money, etc., but we pay well. But people like working with us. And also, we have a winner's attitude. So if you look at PeopleCert, there are 4 guiding principles. There are 4 core values that are the same in the last 25 years. When we started the business initially back in 2001 or so, we can exercise with Grant Thornton at that time, I remember, on mission, vision, core values, and how we should be, etc. So we ended up with 4 core values. And those core values are exactly the same today, nothing has changed. And those are quality, innovation, passion, and integrity. And each one of them represent 100% as quality. Everything has to be top quality. From the people we choose, from the way we dress, from the way we speak, from our products, from our offices, everything has to be top quality. There is no other way that you can be a global leader unless your quality is top quality. And you have done the same thing with Simplilearn. I always admired your company. The second thing is innovation. And although we're a technology company, innovation means having an open mind, always trying to find ways to improve the way you're doing business. Not being stuck, not being closed. The third one is passion. You have to be passionate, you have to have fire within yourself, otherwise it doesn't work. And the last one is integrity, which is the most difficult. And our definition of integrity is we're trying to do always the right thing when others are not watching. Because when others are watching, everybody is trying to do the right thing. Yeah. The difficulty is to do the right thing when others are not watching. So those are the 4 core values that brought us to today, and are cornerstones of how we work. In the last 2 years, we had added also 2 more guiding principles because we grew and became bigger, and those 2 are clarity and velocity. What we found out is that when you grow, business becomes much more complicated, much more complex, and there is not enough clarity on the things you're doing. So we said, anything we're doing, one of the guiding principles should be clarity. My managers, people that work here, said, when we make a presentation to customers, I said, there should be clarity on what we're saying, so that the other party understands easily. And because as you grow, automatically you become a slower animal because of complexity, etc., we added velocity. We must act quickly, make decisions quickly, as an organization move quickly, spot the opportunities quickly, etc. I think those 6 words are things that define PeopleCert today.
No, that's like really, really great to know, especially the last 2 parties said that clarity and velocity as you have become bigger. So Byron, how do you see PeopleCert going from here? You're already a global player. You operate in 225 countries. You are doing IT certifications. You are doing now diversified into language certification. What's the big vision for PeopleCert? Where do you see it like few years down the line?
You mentioned earlier that PeopleCert is the first unicorn, 2021. Yes. We're a multicorn. Yeah. I'm going to answer the question from 3 different perspectives. One is the impact that we're having in people's lives. we are impacting approximately 1 million lives per year today, because the certification is not the value of the paper. I mean, how much it costs to send the paper. The certification is the proof of knowledge that opens doors, opens opportunities to people. For some people, it means a completely new life. And we are aware of this responsibility. And we are trying our best always. This is the purpose of our business, to create better opportunities and better careers and better lives for the people. And we will continue to do this the best way. And this is what gives us joy. The second is, of course, the financial metrics. PeopleCert successful financial, very successful organization. Our elevator pitch is that we are, the last 10 years, we're growing 34% per year. Our EBITDA margin is north of 60% and cash conversion 90%, which is pretty impressive financial metrics. We will try to keep those metrics going forward, and this will lead that PeopleCert is going to become pentacorn shortly, if it's not already, and decacorn going forward. And maybe we'll consider having an IPO. And the third leg is that our responsibility towards the society. Myself, coming from a poor family, and especially in a place where the community was helping, the fact that the Greek community remains for so many years in Turkey is because the ones that had and they could helped the ones that did not have and could not. So we take it seriously. A percentage of our profits is given back to the society on a variety of initiatives that we are doing, primarily around education and a lot of other stuff. One of the things that we have done is also have created the first ever certification on classical Greek, on ancient Greek, pretty similar like English. And we are doing a lot of other stuff. So those are the three pillars that I mentioned. The purpose of the organization, better careers and better lives, people, financial metrics, and giving back to the society.
There are a lot of people who work in sales, right? And one of the person is asking that, okay, on IT, there are a lot of certifications to demonstrate knowledge that can help them grow in their career. What about sales professional? Are there suggestions or certifications that they can think of acquiring that helps them differentiate themselves and land a better opportunities?
Well, we looked in the past on creating or acquiring an organization that is on sales. Sales is both an art and a science. So, being very honest, we couldn't find something that was really, really good. Of course, there are institutes in the UK and in the US, it's better not to give names. And if you do a good search on the internet, on ChatGPT, you'll find how to rank them. And having a certification is always a good thing. It does not hurt. In project management, for example, there is, first of all, there is lots of knowledge. The knowledge is not only how you get the knowledge, and how you apply the knowledge as well. It's important. And of course, in project management, the two golden certificates, I would say, one is Prince 2, ours, which was developed by the UK government and became global. The other one is our competitor in the US, PMI. There are a lot of discussion which of those is better, etc. We're not going to get to the discussion. Let's say that they are complementary and they have different audiences. One of the advantages, by the way, that we see on Prince 2 is that the new version of Prince 2, Prince 2.7, is not only for project managers. It's for everyone. Because today, everything in life is a project. Or if it's a combination of projects, it's a program. I mean, if you want to have a birthday party, it's a project. If you want to arrange to move your house, it's a project. If you want to get married, it's a project. If you want to get a divorce, this is a program, more complex. It's not a project. So the new Prince 7 that was launched last year This is for everyone, not only for project managers. And those are certifications on project management that, in my opinion, everybody should have. And adding to the CV of anyone is only a positive thing. Employers are looking to this.
So, Garan, a related question that, based on what you just spoke, again asked by the audience, is that see, PeopleCert is a successful business. You talked a lot about some of the financial success that you've achieved. That is like really a stellar performance. So it's a great ROI for you as a business owner, and you certify professionals. How do you measure the ROI of your certification for the professionals who are acquiring those certifications? Do you measure that what happens somebody acquires an ITIL or a Prince2 or a language certification from PeopleCert?
Difficult to answer this question. There are, in some countries, there are metrics, there are certain studies. If you buy this certificate, how much is the average salary that you are learning? In the US, usually in most of the studies, 2 of our certificates, both ITIL and Prince2, they are in the top 10. Those are studies done by others.
Okay.
So they consider as a big plus. But I think any good certification, the ROI is at least 100 times, because getting a certification, how much it costs? From a few hundred maximum to some thousands, not hours. I can hardly find that somebody is not going to capitalize this in the employer's market. If you compare, for example, the cost of a certification to the cost of the university education, it's a small fraction. In many cases, I'm not going to say in most cases, but I could say, I'm being conservative here, the value of a good certification in the career path of a young individual is much bigger with a certification than a university degree. That's why we see right now that many universities, this is our fastest growing segment. I have no doubt about the value of the ROI on the individual. No question.
And that's why you see the growth also, because individuals are doing these certifications, they are seeing the benefit.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Byron, tell me, as a company, we work with a lot of partners, with companies like Simplilearn. How do you see the role of partners like us in your journey?
I see it as a very important part. As PeopleCert, we have been always working with partners. And me, as Byron, we had a network back from ECDL Foundation, and always the network was key to our success. Okay. So I'm not among the ones that who believe that, okay, if you disintermediate and instead of having a partner network, we go and sell directly because you make up the money that the partner makes in the beginning. I don't believe that this is good for the business. I do believe that as PeopleCert, going forward, we will continue to grow with partners. That was also my commitment to the ATO community when we acquired Axelos, and said we're not going to change it. We'll continue with partners. We may end up having some journeys directly with enterprise, have some teams that go directly to enterprise and help, but always together with our partners. We value the partner networship, and I think the last 3 years we've proven it, and this is going to be the way forward. The same applies in English language, same everywhere.
So, Byron, how do you see your partners, or ATOs as they are called, differentiate themselves? If let's say all the ATOs are selling your credentials, how do you emphasize them? How can I, as Simplilearn, say that, okay, I'm a PeopleCert ATO, but I'm better than other ATOs?
First of all, as Simplilearn, you're the best. No question about this. They have the best CEO, at least. We have a segmentation of our ATOs, which is the platinum, the gold, the silver, and bronze. And there are several criteria on this one. Size is one, but it's not the only one.
Okay. And
of course, we give some advantages, some privileges, some marketing funds, co-marketing together, some discounts as well to the platinum ATOs. You, as Simplilearn, you are in the platinum list of ATOs. But having said that, and I have to be very open and honest as always, there is room and value for the small players as well. The market is big enough for everyone, And I do believe that we're doing our best to keep the right balances and to have our small partners, our middle partners, and our large partners as happy as possible. And I do believe, again, because I speak with my partners, I'm always traveling and speaking. On the aggregate, as a general, we're doing a good job there.
Good. I think that's great to know. And I see, Byron, that you're also the president of CEPIS. Please tell us more about that. What is this organization and how it is related with PeopleCert mission, and what can we learn more about that organization?
I used to be. Now I'm not
Okay.
anymore, but for 20 years, CIPIS is the organization that represents the computer societies of Europe. Within Europe, in every computer, there is one association that represents the IT professionals and the IT scientists. And this is called the Computer Society. In the UK, it's British Computer Society. In Turkey is the Informatics Association of Turkey. In Greece is HEPIS, and so forth. In 32 countries, there is computer societies. And CIPIS is the European organization who has as members the 32 computer societies. So it's the second level.
Okay.
And it's a board that is elected by the 32 members. So I've been a board member of CIPIS for over 20 years.
Okay.
And in the last 8 years, between 2015 and 2024, I was president for 3 tenures, but I had to resign a year earlier. I resigned, I think, 18 months before, because I had so much business after the acquisition that I couldn't handle it. So I passed it to the next president.
But I think you were president of CIPIS for 20 years. Your own business is growing so rapidly in so many different countries. And as you know, IT is such a vast area. You're also into language. And I'm sure there is always a temptation to do more. And IT in particular is changing so very rapidly. So how do you stay focused? How do you keep your focus as well as your organization focus that do few things but do it in the best possible manner? I think that has been one secret sauce for success. How do you maintain that?
It's a challenge, and that's why you had to add the 2 guiding principles.
Okay.
Clarity and velocity, and you must have clarity on what you want to do, and also be able to say no. It's difficult to say no, because people come always with proposals and ideas and this and that, and you have to select. You cannot do all. So we're going to say, I'm going to do this, I'm not going to do that. And sometimes it's not, especially for ambitious people, it's not easy to say no. But we must have to say no. Apple, by the way, is very famous. For years, being able to a lot of ideas saying, no, we're going to do only the iPhone. No.
So, Byron, no discussion is complete without AI. So, how do you see AI changing PeopleCert business, and what is PeopleCert is doing in terms of AI?
We were one of the early adopters. Now everybody's talking about AI. The last few months, the hype seems to be settling down a little bit, and we're talking about generative AI here. But our business is generating content. I said earlier that it's about creating IP, managing IP, monetizing IP. And in our particular case, it's content, and it's original content. It's content that did not exist. So we're using AI in 2 ways. One is that it's helping us on the creation of content. It's not something that can be done by itself. The level of creating content through AI is not, the quality is not good yet, but it's facilitating our people.
For sure.
So it gives a kickstart. And on the other side, we're looking to a lot of other potential opportunities on new stuff. New business opportunities, new certification opportunities. There are, and as people said, we have adopted it as of probably 18 months ago. Now we're going to come with, I cannot speak too much on this one because still it's not announceable, but you'll see a lot of stuff good with AI, with our existing products, AI with ITIL, ITIL and AI. And
So we can expect some announcement soon, right?
yes.
Over your career of like maybe 30 plus years, you have made various decisions as a CEO. Which is the best decision you have made, according to you?
As a CEO, usually the CEOs are getting paid 5 to 10 times more money
Yeah.
than the number two. And when you see the people, you see, I mean, they're more or less equal people, everything. I mean, first line, the CEO, and the second line for the other guys are more or less the same. And you say, why this guy at the top is being paid 10 times more than the others? And in my opinion, there is only one reason, because if they're going to make 100 decisions in 1 year, everybody will agree, but there will going to be 1 or 2 decisions that all the management will say will have to go to the right, and the CEO will say, no, we have to go to the left, and he will be proved right. This is this one decision that makes a difference. So every year there are such decisions that I hope I'm making right, which are sometimes contrarian. But the one big decision that I made was back in 2009, when Greece was in dark, everything in dark, company in dark. During the crisis, 80% of business of our size disappeared in Greece, and 20% they shrank completely. So pushing the gas and going ahead against the recommendation of all my close associates, I think this one, I would say, that was the main decision, the right decision, which as a result of this, we are here and we're talking about all this stuff today.
Going from local to global level was the decision that you took, where everybody was saying that
under very tough conditions.
So tell me, what is your second question is, what is your hobby outside work?
I like swimming.
Okay.
I used to play ball, any type of ball. I like it. It was football, it was volleyball, it was table tennis.
Okay.
And now my best hobby is my grandchildren.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I heard that you also like racing.
I like velocity. Fast, I like it because I used to be a pilot as well. I drive fast boats, cars, motorcycles.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, velocity. Speed is a passion of mine.
Okay. Well, there is so much of history in Greek. So I think my next question is related to that. That if you had an opportunity to do lunch with any historical figure, who will be that figure?
Easy. Socrates.
Socrates? Okay. So you like philosophy?
Yes.
Okay. You were a banker, then you got into this certification business. If it was not certification business, what other business you would have considered? I know you did shipping also, but is there if you have to really live your life, is there any other business that you thought might really go well with your personality, your values?
It would be about training, about education.
Okay, so it's going to be about education.
Yes. I think this is the best gift we can give to the next generation. And always, as I was telling, when I was working hard in my life, early years, I always try to give the best education to my children. And the reason is that you can make money.
Yeah.
Life is a circle. Sometimes you are on the top, sometimes you are on the bottom. You may make money, you may end up losing all your money. But you have a good education, you never lose it. Nobody can take this away from you. This is always going to be a light in your life. And for us to give in a better world, with less violence, with better quality of life for everyone, not to have the poverty, because poverty is the issue, the source of many problems. Education, and better and good education is the solution. It creates jobs, creates quality. And that's why I would like to have a conversation and lunch with Socrates on such issues.
Yeah, I can imagine that. What a great conversation that will be. My next question, Byron, is that you travel a lot. You have business in 200 plus countries. Which is the best place that you liked traveling on business? Or do you remember a place that was really, really stands out in your business travel?
Well, I think the best place to make money from the business perspective is the world is US, no question. It's a big market, I would say huge market, homogeneous market. The prices are good, are high, language the same all around, and you can make lots of money. If you choose a place to live, I think Greece is a blessed place by the gods where somebody can live.
Nice.
Especially the Greek islands are a very good place.
Yeah. According to you, what is one skill that everyone should have?
Tolerance.
Tolerance. Okay.
We have to be, in general, more tolerant in our life. If everybody would be more tolerant, it would be a much better world.
There's no doubt about that.
And we can see in ourselves. I mean, sometimes we're less tolerant, sometimes we're more tolerant, and I'm saying it in a positive way.
Yeah.
For a better world, better tolerance, tolerating each other better is a very important skill, and we have to cultivate this.
Which is the best part of running this global business that you like?
That is really global.
Yeah.
Truly global, because it's a different thing. I mean, it's a different.
So what part of the business you like it? Well, a global business requires there are like team management, traveling, talking to customers,
speaking to partners and learning from them.
Partners. Okay.
Speaking to people like you and learning from them.
Yeah. And one word that describes your leadership style?
Tough.
Good, great. Thanks, Byron. Such a great talking to. I think we are seeing face to face each other. Maybe after 2013 we spoke on phone.
Next time we see face to face, you will be the Socrates, and we'll have a lot of philosophical conversation.
Okay.
Good to see you. Thank you very much.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.